Let's bring in a good friend of the show, Keith.
Yes, sir.
TMZ Sports' Mike Babcock joins us now on the line to discuss one Kellen Winslow, who the public hasn't heard from in quite a long time now, but he did make news today just a couple of hours ago. Mike, what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, what's up, Brad and Keith? Kellen Winslow made the wrong kind of news today, and it's actually a incredibly serious situation. Kellen Winslow was arrested in San Diego about 1 p.m. Pacific time today for kidnapping and rape, and he's facing life in prison, guys.
Oh, my God. That is insane, man. And, we were just talking about the Jets yesterday, Mike, about just in terms of Sam Darnold as a possibility of him starting. And, they're getting on the right track. And then now you have this situation that's happened already. And then you have Robbie Anderson Jr. that's had a domestic violence feud back, a while back. And then all of a sudden he's coming out and saying that he's not going to get suspended. So it looks like the Jets are just not on the right path right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, Kellen Winslow, he hasn't played football in a couple of years. He actually stepped away. I want to say it was in 2013 when he was on the Jets, Keith. Yep. But Kellen Winslow was arrested last week, exactly a week ago, Thursday, for burglary. And his people came out very strongly and said that he had been falsely accused and that he wasn't burglarizing of this property, which happened to be at a mobile home park for elderly people. They said that he was just looking at properties for a family member. And then this blockbuster today where, we get a call right in the afternoon there. We're about to head home, and we get this call that he is charged with 9 criminal charges and some of the most serious charges that you could imagine. You're talking 2 counts of kidnapping with intent to commit rape, 2 counts of forcible rape, sodomy. It just goes on and on. And like I said, this is not something where, you have Conor McGregor in the news today, and a lot of people think, although he's facing 7 years in jail, that he could, just wind up with probation here. With Kellen Winslow Jr., you're literally talking about a guy who may never step foot again outside of jail.
Yeah, that's sad to see. He's only like 33, 34, Mike. I mean, he's a young guy still. You mentioned he last played in the
34
league.
years old.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost hard to fathom when these type of situations come up, especially for guys who are so young. Like you said, he last played in the league back in 2013. What's he been doing for the past 5 years or so? What's he been doing recently? Do you have any knowledge of that?
It's funny because not too long ago, or maybe a year or so ago, I actually talked to Kellen Winslow. He had gotten into cycling, and he was taking it really seriously. He told me at the time that he wanted to turn professional in cycling, and that's something that he was really working on. And we know back from his playing days, he's a guy that was a tremendous athlete, probably the biggest guy in a bike anywhere around. But I know he was really working towards that goal, and he seemed like a nice guy. It's something that when I heard it today from a personal standpoint, I was really surprised because there are some people you just don't think that something like this is coming down the pike for them. And, sure enough, though, he's in jail right now.
It sucks that, this guy made the Pro Bowl in 2007. And, the way he is, like you said, you see him, he's doing other things like cycling and trying to get his, do everything outside of football, do the right thing. And then you turn around and you look at it, he has a whole dark side to him. And it's insane to see that. And it's just like, wow, you don't even think someone is capable of doing all these things.
That's just it. I know.
Sure. Now, I shouldn't make him sound like an angel. This isn't the first time, and last week isn't the first time that he had been in any trouble. He had gotten into an incident a couple years ago at a shopping mall. It wasn't his finest moment. The cop said he was touching himself in the Target parking lot, and he had synthetic marijuana on him, according to cops. So he's had some stuff in the past, but I think everybody thought he was a pretty decent guy.
It really sucks because you think, what do the Jets even think about? Like, this guy was in their organization for a long time.
I think a lot of teams think that. Yeah,
and it's just like I'm sure players, the way you are, Mike, shocked that this happened, especially because you talked to this guy on a personal level on things before about the cycling and all this stuff. I'm sure they're just like, wow. I'm sure this guy has been around some of the players' kids before and their wives and family, and then this happens. I mean, I don't know. Have you guys ever talked to any of the players yet that probably was past players on his team yet or anything like that?
No, not yet. That's probably something that I'll do tomorrow over the next couple days. This is kind of something that's still unfolding. The details of the alleged crime are not even out yet. All we know are the charges, but we don't even know the circumstances surrounding what the cops say happened. He is going to be arraigned tomorrow in San Diego, so they're gonna read these charges in front of him, and I anticipate tomorrow that there will be more details that'll be released. We'll obviously have that on TMZSports.com.
Yeah, you mentioned, Keith, about how the Jets' former teams, I think it doesn't matter if it's a player or a coach, whenever these situations arise, they always think to themselves that there's something that we could have done maybe to help. And I think sometimes we almost fall into that trap of, almost like that guilty conscience sometimes, Mike. And I think that's not always fair, especially now when so many different guys, we talked about this before, when similar guys, when different situations have come up in the past, whether it be Johnny Manziel or other guys. But something I always really credit Johnny Manziel for is how he was able to get help.
Yeah.
And whether that was on his own or, you credit his family, I think his family definitely plays a big role in that. But with so many different outlets today, you really want to see everyone get the help that they can. So it's just a tough predicament. There's no other way to kind of slice it, I think.
Yeah, with Johnny Manziel, he has relayed this to me personally, that he had a lot of demons. He had problems with alcohol and drugs, and I think he hit rock bottom, and he happened to meet a person who was really influential in his life, and his now wife, Briziesi. But he dragged himself out of that deep, dark hole that he was in, and now he's playing professional football again, albeit not in the NFL, but he's in the CFL, and I think he's on the path to that, to hopefully getting back in the NFL one day. So you're right. When things go wrong or when you don't have the game in your life anymore, there's a fork. You can go either the wrong way or you can try to get help and go the right way. And some guys make the right choice and they're able to get help, and some guys aren't. And I think when you're not able to get help, then you're facing life in prison like Kellen Winslow.
We look here, and as soon as I saw this story and I saw everyone pick it up, I said, hold on. We have to go to the TMZ Sport because I know Mike Babcock
you have to go to the master.
over there. They're on top of this. And you look now, and they have everything what's going on, and I'm sure you guys are still on top of this until the end. So, we're going to definitely be following you guys and kind of get a report on what's going on with this story.
Absolutely. We'll be on top of it. We'll be on top of it all day tomorrow, and whatever the latest happens to be, we will definitely have it on the website.
Mike Babcock, TMZ Sports, joining us here on Behind the Mic once again with the latest surrounding Kellen Winslow Jr. Hey, Mike, who you got in the World Cup? Who you rooting for?
Oh, the U.S.?
Yeah, I wish.
They wish they made it.
I don't, guys, to be honest, I'm not a soccer guy. On our television show, we had to pick teams, and I tried to pick Germany, but then they were yelling at me because they're the favorite. So I don't know who's going to win this thing.
I don't know, man. I'm going for Brazil, man. I don't know. USA. It really sucks. I was talking to Brad about this earlier, Mike. It was like, this is the first time USA didn't make the team, the World Cup, and it sucks. And I know you guys know some guys who played in soccer in the USA team, and I'm sure they've been embarrassed and afraid when you guys see them and out there. They've been embarrassed not to talk or anything like that. And it's a shame that they didn't make it. So now we're forced. Here we are in the United States. USA is our team, and we're rooting for like other countries. Look, I'm gonna root for Brazil. They're the mecca of soccer, so I'm gonna go with them.
It's fair enough.
Yeah, I see a lot of people, looking to their ancestry and rooting for the places that their families came from. So whatever you got to do to get interested and to pick a team and to have someone to root for, I'm down for that.
Hey, Mike, I got a question, just even off the subject. You guys got out Tyronn Lue at Craig's the other night with Chauncey Billups
having dinner.
And it's everybody's been lately. I'm sure you guys have covered it as well about LeBron James. Where is he going? And it was interesting to see with Tyronn Lue. He didn't say anything, but his expression. When you guys asked the question where LeBron, what's going on with LeBron? Is LeBron staying? He kind of just looked and he took a breath and you said he just like nodded his head. And I was like,
right.
Wow.
He looked dejected. He looked frustrated. That's why we put the video up on the website because, when they told me that we had seen Coach Lue out, they said, oh, he didn't answer any of the questions that we asked him. But then I watched the footage and I said, his body language speaks volumes here. He looks frustrated and he looks worn down, which is understandable just coming off the season. But I thought that spoke very loudly, and I didn't think that was very optimistic if you're a Cavs fan.
Oh, no, exactly.
No, and especially with Ty Lue at this point, probably his biggest concern still has to be his health, right? I don't know. I mean, obviously he took that leave at the end of last year and he came back, but I would imagine he's not 100%. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah.
So there's probably a lot on his mind. That's the biggest thing, regardless of the LeBron stuff.
Yeah, what's funny? This video, though, that they got speaks a lot of volume because I know a lot of people are going to watch this tomorrow. I know you guys put this up later on today, but a lot of people are going to watch that, and they're going to talk about that because body language alone, like you would think, if you knew your main player was coming back, you'd be happy. I don't care if you won a championship. You get another shot at it next year. But the body language
right, if LeBron's on your team, you got a chance to
exactly. And even Chauncey Billups wasn't even walked in. He just didn't say anything at all. And I really do think that's bad news for the land, man. I really do.
Absolutely. Everybody's speculating where LeBron's going to go. I know I don't need to tell you guys that. People are putting bets down, looking at betting odds, and I really did. When you have the head coach and he responds like he responded, I think that really did speak loudly.
Hey, it's going to get crazier before it gets calmer at this point. It's the summer of LeBron.
Right, we didn't even start yet. We didn't even get started yet.
I know.
This is going to get that much more wilder. It's going to be fun.
Mike Babcock once again joining us, TMZ Sports. Always a good time. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it.
Brad and Keith, thank you guys. I appreciate it.